Dear brothers and sisters, the Church calls this third Sunday of Advent as Gaudete Sunday, that is, Sunday of Joy. And this word Gaudete comes from St. Paul's words to the Philippians. He says, Gaudete in Domino Semper, rejoice in the Lord always. The Apostle urges Christians to rejoice because the Lord's coming, that is, His glorious return, is certain and will not be delayed. This Sunday of joy tells us that even in the midst of so many doubts and difficulties, joy exists because God exists and is with us. The Church makes this invitation her own while she prepares to celebrate Christmas, and her gaze is focused ever more intently on Bethlehem. Indeed, we wait with hope, certain of Christ's second coming, because we have experienced His first coming. We have heard Isaiah's prophecy, the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good tidings to the afflicted, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. These words, spoken so many centuries ago, ring out in a very up-to-date way for us too today, while we are halfway through Advent and already look forward to the great solemnity of Christmas. These are words that revive hope, that prepare us to welcome the Lord's salvation and announce the inauguration of a season of grace and liberation. The God that the prophet Isaiah announces to us is always a merciful and liberating God. In this line, Pope Francis reminded us, it is not that man goes to meet God, it is God who comes to meet man. Advent is precisely a time of waiting, of hope, and of preparation for the Lord's coming. The figure and preaching of John the Baptist invite us to make this commitment as we hear him in the Gospel of today. John had withdrawn into the wilderness to live a very austere life and to invite people to conversion. Also, by the example of his life, he conferred on them a baptism of water, a single rite of penance. So, who was this man? Who was John the Baptist? The response he himself gave is surprisingly humble. He was not the Messiah. He was not the light. He was neither Elijah came back to the earth, nor the great prophet awaited. He was the forerunner, a simple witness, totally subordinate to the one he proclaimed, a voice in the wilderness. My brothers and sisters, even today we need voices that simply announce to us that God exists. He is always near, even if He seems absent. John the Baptist was a voice in the wilderness and a witness to the light. And this moves our hearts, for in this world where there are so many shadows, so much darkness, we are called to be witnesses of light. This is the mission of the season of Advent itself, to be witnesses of light. And we can only be this if we carry the light within us. We are called to carry the light in our time. So Christian joy springs from this certainty that God is close, He is with me, He is with us, in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, as a friend and faithful spouse. And this joy endures even in trials, in suffering itself. It does not remain only on the surface. It dwells in the depths of the person who entrusts himself to God and trusts in Him. Some people ask, but Is this joy still possible today? Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta, an unforgettable witness of true gospel joy in our time, gives us the answer. She lived in touch daily with wretchedness, human degradation, and death. Her soul knew the trials of the dark night of faith, yet she gave everyone God's smile. In one of her writings we read, "We wait impatiently for paradise, where God is, but it is in our power to be in paradise even here on earth and from this moment." So what is joy? Joy is the fruit of our inner experience of our personal encounter with Christ, as Mother Teresa experienced it. When we place our center on God, He always gives us the appropriate response to our problems, light in darkness, and joy in the face of sadness. Let us put God as the foundation and pillar of our life. All the saints were people full of peace and joy in the midst of their penances and mortifications, because, as a well-known phrase says, a sad saint is a saint of sadness. Let us reflect. Do I live joyfully in my Christian life? Who is the source of my joy? Have I opened the doors of my existence to the light of Christ, or do I have some windows closed where this light of Christ has not yet entered? Brothers and sisters, I wish you all a very joyful Gaudete Sunday.